Hello, everybody. Right now, it's just one. Hi, Greg. Hi, Dylan and Robert. I'm here. Well, Robert's not here. He's got the day off, so I'm come rain this morning, so I'm letting him have a little time off. Let me get everything set up here. Minty Man. Hello. I don't think I'm gonna just take my glasses off today so I can see. I don't think I've ever talked to you before, but I'm glad you're on our channel here, and where I can see what us guys doing. I've been doing office work all day. Just I hate office work, but that's what we've been doing, or what I've been doing. Robert's got the day off, but been filling out some papers for crop insurance where we had to replant that corn, and oh man, was subscribed a few weeks ago. Office work is horrible. Well, thank you for subscribing to our channel. I always like to have new people. Hoping my channel is really going to grow here. But yeah, we've been doing office work. Like I said, we had to replant like 50 acres of corn, and I had to fill out those papers where I could get my money for replant. You live towards Martin area. One day I come visit y'all's farm. Well, maybe. We'll just have to say I don't know how I feel about people visiting the farm. I hadn't really thought about that yet because, of insurance liabilities and stuff like that. But maybe we could have a field day out here one day. I don't know how many people would be interested in coming to that, but I have thought about having a field day this summer where people can come out and see the tractors and see what we got going on out here. Come down to South Georgia and help you get some peanuts in the dirt. Well, if we didn't have things to do here, I might well drive down there. How far down in Georgia are you? When we go to Atlanta to watch the ball game, I think we're like 7 hours from Atlanta. I'm not helping you fence. You're on your own fencing, Kenny. I like supporting these smaller farm channels, Minty Man. Well, thank you. I mean, I don't have plans on being the biggest farmer on YouTube, but I would like for our channel to grow and get out there a little bit. I'd just like for people to see what we're doing. Hello, Russ. Need to make sure, let everybody know that Russ is in here. I don't need nobody getting their feelings hurt today. And I'll just go on and say, if I miss your comment or don't speak to you, I'm sorry. There's just a lot going on in a live chat, and sometimes I miss some people, and I'm sorry. But I already talked to Russ earlier today. But so what y'all guys want to talk about today? What do we got going on? We got the combine out in the background. If you've been with our channel for a while, you've seen where we started working on the combine back in the winter, but we didn't get finished because springtime got here. But we are back to work on the combine. It'll probably be a week or so before y'all see any videos on that. I've got videos scheduled to come out plumb till. Let me take a look here. Get on my schedule. I think I got. If y'all hadn't noticed, I've kind of started getting my videos on the schedule. Sundays at 12 p.m. where everybody can watch them when they get out after church, and then Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Thursdays at 5 p.m. is when I have started scheduling my videos to come out. So y'all can expect videos then. But yeah, I think I've got videos scheduled till June the 8th. We got some more corn fertilizing videos, got some the finish of corn planting videos. I think y'all last video I put out on the first day of us fertilizing corn has done real well. Had already up to 2,000 views, which is pretty good for us. So everybody seemed to like it for some reason. So I think y'all are really gonna like the upcoming videos. I think they're getting a little better, I think. How did Corn Dog get that nickname? All nicknames have a story. Family Farmer, you just got to know Walton. Man, I don't really know how he got it. I think we just got to teasing him about eating a corn dog or something one day, and we just started calling him Corn Dog. Well, we went back to calling him Walt, and he don't want to call himself Walton anymore. He said, my name Corn Dog, me not Walt. He said, my name Corn Dog Walt. That's what he really prefers to be called, is Corn Dog Walt. Coffee County, almost an hour from the Florida line. Well, how far are you from Atlanta? Atlanta's the only thing I know in Georgia, because we go down there and watch the Braves play once a year. Normally, we didn't get to see them last year because of COVID. And we used to get the Braves on the radio here in West Tennessee, and they quit carrying the Braves. And I like listening to baseball on the radio because, there's only so much music on the radio, and you get burned out on it after a while. And I'm not really into podcasts. I'm not really into them, but I really enjoyed listening to the Braves play baseball on the radio. And then the station that had them said they got in a contract dispute and quit carrying the Braves. And then I got the MLB app on my phone had it for a year and listened to them through that on the Bluetooth on my radio, but I hadn't really even followed them this year. I don't know how they're doing this year. Hello from Mexico. Well, thank you for watching all the way down from Mexico. I'm really amazed at some of the places that people watch from. Greg said, you got the combine shining. I can tell it looks great. Well, it got quite a bit of dust on it right now. And when we was washing it, I don't know if you see it, we missed a spot out on the end of the boot when we was washing it. But all right, guys. So what do you want to talk about? Trying to make sure that I'm trying to get my live chat up so I can make sure I can talk to everybody. Hello from Florida, Riley Garrett. Now, it's nice to have you in here with us today from New York. Hello, Carl, and thank you for watching from New York. Christopher Hargrove, thank you for joining us. So, all right, guys, what are we talking about today? I know y'all got something just pressing on your mind. Did I play baseball? Yes, I did. I really enjoyed playing baseball. Let's say I played T-ball, played coach pitch, and I played little league. I was a lot. Them stupid dogs. I was a lot slimmer back then. I didn't start really gaining weight till about middle of high school. But Walton's been playing T-ball. That's been an adventure. All the adults almost got in a fight last night. We have this one woman. She's an umpire, and she's the most terrible umpire I've ever seen. Like, when a play is going down, you need to run over there and kind of see what's going on. You you can't call a play on third base when you're standing in the middle of the field. You know, jog over there to third base. I'm a fat boy, and I could jog to third base to see if what the play was happening on third. But that woman, her not calling stuff, or she waits forever to call it, like, I'm not sure what to call this. Well, she won't call nothing, and then the coaches get to bickering, and then the adults out there get to hollering, and then umpire gets all defensive, and they better get them a better umpire, don't there's going to be a dang fist fight out there on the T-ball field. Sometimes adults don't act like adults. That's bad when the kids are acting better than the adults. Russ said he played football and baseball. He liked baseball better. I did play a little bit of football in junior high, and they tried to get me to play in high school because I like to hit people. Boy, you can take a lot of frustration out. I wasn't afraid to take a hit, and I wasn't afraid to give a hit neither, but I did like that about football, but I'm kind of glad I didn't play. To Mississippi farming. Howdy from Tupelo, Mississippi. We got the Tupelo, Mississippi flash in here. It's everywhere. My son is playing coach pitch, and the same thing happens. Yep. Bush. If you're asking me if I've been busy, things have slowed down a lot since we got the last of the corn planted. We got all our full season soybeans in the ground. Got all the corn planted. So right now we've got half of the corn top dressed and sprayed. We or over half of it. We like 90 acres fertilizing corn and 90 acres of spraying, and we will be caught up to the wheat. We have 175 acres of wheat to cut, and then we got to plant the beans back on it, and and then we'll have to spray them, and then we'll have some fungicide applications on soybeans, and it just work's never done. Dwight, thank you for joining us from Northeast Arkansas. If you like a good fight, play church league softball. I learned some new work. I wasn't on the team, but my sister played church league softball. My brother Robert played church league softball one year, and we had some. This is crazy to me. We had some people on our team that I've never seen at church before, and we was just a small church, 30 to 50 people, and we had some. I'm not going to that church anymore, but that's what made me so darn mad on it. These people could show up for a softball game and be on our church softball league, and I hadn't even seen them at church before. Why don't we grow cotton? No desire. I don't have the equipment. Just don't want to mess with it. I don't like running the sprayer that much. How many acres do we farm? 800. The church is bringing in the ringers. Yeah, but the sad part about it is that they had all them out there on the field playing, and the ones that faithful church members, they was just out there playing for fun, and they didn't even get to play. As just stuff like that bothers me. It ain't right. It just bothers me. I brought some refreshment with me today. Normally, I get bad thirsty when I do these lives, especially if I talk for over an hour. All right. Any other questions? I thought I'm on my laptop right now. Uh, have a retired MLB player here locally. I guess that's why we don't have church league. There's a local boy here that played for Peabody High School. He's down there in minor leagues with Atlanta pitching. I think he's pretty dang good. I'm hoping maybe we can see him sometime, which I'm gonna have to start back watching the games. You got to love spraying to grow cotton. Well, I don't like spraying, so that rules me out. That's been our biggest challenge this spring was we had a lot of sprayer trouble this spring, but I think we got that straightened out maybe. Hello from France. Well, I am impressed. I think you've won an award for the farthest one away today. I'm glad to have you with us. Maybe you can understand me. This southern accent, you might think I'm speaking a different language. But say we got a inch of rain this morning. That's kind of what's happening. Like I said, I've been in the office doing paperwork. Talked to Russ this morning. We discussed some YouTube issues and see what else happened. We went to the Toot and Tell It and ate lunch. That's a little local restaurant here. If you're ever in Dyer, Tennessee, check out the Toot and Tell It. If it's in the off season, chances are me and Robert's there eating lunch, and we might even sign an autograph for you. Went to the lake this weekend and froze my butt off. We did get to go out on the pontoon on Sunday. I burnt my nose, but it was pretty decent Sunday. It was not. You didn't want to get in the water and swim, but it was nice weather to cruise around, check some things out. Is another sprayer or upgrading one in the future? We was this close to going trading sprayers this spring. I actually went and got the money lined up to go look, but I was looking at a John Deere 4630, and the one I was looking at, man, the one in my price range that I found, it was pretty good looking, but when he sent me some extra pictures of it, it had a lot of rust all over it. It sprayed a lot of liquid nitrogen through it. And then looked at a John Deere 4720, and it looked like a really, really nice sprayer. I never did go physically look at it, but I wanted to, but it got back dry. We got in the field, and that kind of got put on the back burner. And knock on this plastic table that y'all are sitting on. It's run good. I think we're just gonna do a little work on ours and keep running it. The sprayer we got, we can spray our whole crop in 4 days easy. It don't really make a lot. I do a lot of spraying because you know us, we try a lot of new things, but I just can't justify saying buying a sprayer right now. I looked at a 994 Rogator that one of my buddies used to own, and the machine part was in real good shape, but the boom was rough on it. So we just passed on it. But we did look at some sprayers this spring, and just didn't find what we wanted to. But I think we got the sprayer situation figured out. We are looking for a good, I wouldn't say mini excavator. I'd say mid-size excavator, or track hoe, whatever you want to call it. We got a lot of farms that need some cleaning up, and I am spending quite a bit of money every year on track hoe work, and I would like to have about a 15 to 18,000 pound machine. Something I can haul on a gooseneck without having if I could find a package deal with a low boy and 24,000 pound machine or something like that, I'd probably buy it. I mean, we got the money lined up to buy it if we find what we want. Uh, I'd like to get it in a little dozer, and who knows, you could probably gain a little work on the side with it. If y'all watch our videos, y'all know we do a lot of dirt work, so I think it's something that would pay for itself pretty quickly, as long as we didn't have any major breakdowns. But about a I've rented the excavators, and there's just one problem with renting an excavator. It's 30 minutes away from where we rent our excavator from, and you got to run down there and get it. And then you got to chain it on the trailer, drive it back up here, and then you keep it a week or so. But the problem with keeping it a week or so, when you're renting it, you got to be on it and you got to stay on it to get your money's worth. And then you got to take it back down there. Whereas I have one sitting right here at the shop, I could get on it when I needed to. If I need to run over here to a field and do, work 3 or 4 hours with it, and then bring it back home and then get on the tractor. Well, if you rent one, I've done the whole renting thing. I'm tired of renting one. I want one. Robert says if I ever buy an excavator, I won't get off of it, because, boy, I like sitting up there. You just sit up there all day, do your thing, listen to some good music. Local farmer here may sell his. He takes really great care. Well, let me know. But like I said, I'm looking for a 15 to 18,000 pound machine, something I can haul around on a gooseneck. Do y'all ever go to Clayton auctions in Finger, Tennessee? I ain't never been to any of their auctions, but if you watch one of our videos on it's the one where we're back here working on the combine and we go to Mississippi. I think it's called a wasted trip to Mississippi. We went down to Mississippi to look at a nitrogen applicator, and on the way back by, they was gonna have their either December or January auction, and we stopped by in there and look at all the equipment. So that's, yeah, if you like Clayton auctions, you might want to check out that video. The ranch I work for does side work for other ranchers, building roads and putting in culverts and clearing land. Yeah, I want the track hole for me personally, but I think there's an opportunity, to make some extra money with it. The only thing that scares me about an excavator, but that's going to happen with any piece of equipment, is if you have a breakdown. Eric Brumley had one for sale in Savannah, Tennessee. Was it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or what was it? Stinson Farms. I'm glad you joined us today. Stinson said he owned a dozer for 9 years. He can stay more busy than you want. I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to keep it busy. I want to clean up these old farm. What little bit I have. Whatever track hole work I have ever done, I have never regretted it. That's like my dad's farm over at Frog Jump. Y'all will see it in a couple of videos when we're planting corn. We had an excavator do some cleaning up over there. And, the guy that does my excavation work for me, I give him a budget. And I take him to the farm and I show him what I want done on each farm, and I do it in priorities. I said, start here and go to this and go to this, and just go to the money runs out to the money I got budgeted for each farm, and that's what he does, and he's real good. But we're getting to the point where I'm spending what will make a payment on a pretty nice track hole, and so that's kind of what I'm looking at. And the reason I thought about I would like to get a little dozer is, and me and Robert's done this before just with the 4640. When I rent that little 12,000 pound KX57 Mini X, I can take him limbs out. When we go down a fence row, I can take him limbs and just throw out there. And Robert will take that dozer and push them up in the fence row tight. And you won't believe how much more I can get done with the excavator because I'm not having to take the bucket and push them back up in the fence row or piling them. Robert's doing that. But y'all saw how much trouble we had this winter with the blade on the 4640. I would like to lighten the load up a little on that tractor. I mean, we'll probably still leave the blade on it, but uh, that tractor, we're using the dozer blade on it probably a lot more than it was meant to be or should be. So I would like to just a little track hole and a little dozer, like a 15 to 18,000 pound mini X and like a D3 dozer, like a Cat D3. I don't really know the numbers on the other equipment. Hi, greetings from France. I love your videos showing simple family farm life like mine with no shiny brand new equipment. Keep it up. Well, thank you, Mark. And I appreciate that. We've got lots of people from France today, and I'm happy to see y'all. That's pretty cool. It's real cool, actually. Uh, Once your neighbors see you have a machine, they'll want some work done. I know it. I got people. I already got people wanting me to do stuff for them, and I ain't even got a mini X. Love your videos. Matt Griggs mentioned you. I have been following him for a minute. Well, thank you. And I always, Matt's good about sending people over this way, and I appreciate that. Uh, he's got quite a few. He's got a lot of subscribers, actually, a lot compared to me. But I appreciate y'all coming over from his channel and checking us out. Hello, William. Uh, Glad you're with us. Oh my! All right, what else are we gonna talk about? Mark, you said with no fancy shiny equipment. I thought my old 4650 and a couple things was pretty shiny. They might be old, but they still kind of shiny. But no, I'm just teasing you. We get the job done with what we got, and most of it's paid for. Since Matt ain't on here, can we talk crap about him? I talk crap about him all the time. What are you talking about? No, I figured Matt might show up. He shows up sometimes. We kind of we text each other quite a bit. How do I like my flatbed truck? And is it a 6.0 Vortex? Yes, sir. It is a Vortex, and it is a stout son of a gun. It is the stoutest gas burning truck I have ever drove. That truck, it just don't have much. It don't have much give up. It's a stout rascal. And we bought that truck, and the bed we intentionally we come from a 1986 Ford F350. Somebody had took the old 6.9 out of it and put a 7.3 IDI engine in it. It was a non-turbo, and it was a good truck, but it got time to where we needed something a little more reliable. I was looking for just a simple. I did want an extended cab truck because sometimes my dad helps us, and when you got corn dog in there and me and Robert and Dad in there, that was a truck full. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it's a gas burner, but it is stout. We did look at one diesel truck, but I'm glad we ended up with the truck we did. Uh, we put that CM flatbed on our brand new, and a lot of we did put a lot of the old toolboxes on, but we eventually ended up with we eventually ended up with a lot of new toolboxes on it because we bought when we bought this new bed, we bought They had them John Deere boxes, which are nothing but a Montezuma painted green. But bugs biting me. But we like that Montezuma box so much we bought another one. And that's what I ought to do today. I still got that 36-inch Store Smart box up here, and I ought to put it up here, and I'll be an auctioneer, and we auction it off today to the highest bidder. And by the way, this would be an excellent time to point out. See, if I auctioned that off, I got Super Chat now. And what Super Chat is if now I'm not asking y'all for money. I'm just throwing this out there. But Super Chat is where you can like support a channel. You can donate money to a channel or whatever. I'm not asking for money, but I'm just saying that we got that, and if somebody did want to support the channel, what that would go to like new camera equipment and better stuff. But anyway, that's my cheap plug. But been looking for a new truck, but don't like the price tag on new ones. I have a 06 2500 and love it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you did want a new one, you couldn't get it. And don't ask me how I know. You can't get it. And you can't find a used truck. Or you can't get what you want. I'll just put it like that. Can't get what you want. Found one had everything I wanted except the color. I don't care what Matt says. The Joyce Brothers is all right in my opinion. Well, thank you. You're gonna have to do like Russ and get some caps made. Yeah, I'm trying to get the crop in, and then I'm thinking about having some hats and maybe some t-shirts made up. Say Joyce Brothers Farm, and then, I'd like to get a picture of one of my 46s, or maybe that 4650 on the back of it. Make sure it's got a shirt pocket, because you can't have a t-shirt without a pocket. And then, maybe have some hats and t-shirts made up, and maybe do a field day out here. I don't know who would be interested in that, but do I have wheat that's about ready to cut? I'm say we're about 2 weeks out from cutting wheat. That's just a wild guess. Maybe June. What's the day? Day's June 2nd. Maybe June 10th to 15th. It's really changing. When you look at it from the road, it looks yellow, but when like we had a little bit blow down, which that's normally a good sign, and normally means you got pretty good weight because the heads are pulling it over. But it's still pretty green down in there. But I'm looking forward to cutting some wheat. Think we're gonna have some pretty good wheat today. Is Corn Dog's mom camera shy? Well, I got one video of her when she's fishing. Michelle, she was a sure enough looker back in the day, and when she cleans up, she still looks pretty good. But don't tell her I said when she cleans up, because Michelle was sure enough a good looker back in the day. Don't ask me how I got her, because I don't know. I guess it's my charming personality. What's my dream tractor? I'm driving them. No, I'm just kidding. I do like my 4640s and my 40. I don't think, unless something drastic happens, I don't think those 4640s and 4650 will ever go nowhere. I had played around with the idea of trading the 4650 on like a 8400. But yeah, I'm really happy with my tractors. My only complaint with my tractors is on them 12 and 16-hour days, them calves on them old Soundguard tractors get awfully small. And I'm not a I'm not tall or anything, but it would be nice to have an 8,000 series tractor with a cab you could kind of spread out in. Probably 83, 8400 would be my dream tractor. You got the little bump shifter, and then all your SCVs are right there at your fingertips. It's just a lot more handy tractor to run. Raffle it off? Well, I don't want to give it away. If I was gonna give it away, I'd just keep it, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that box. Dang, I got down to $100 on it, and that's a heck of a that's a daggum heck of a deal. That's under half of what a new one cost. Cook something for field day, and we will be there. What do you want? Uh, I got a feeling that would be hard to plan for. I don't know how many people would show up. How much do I want for the toolbox? I take $100 bill for it. You can, if you're interested in it, you can email me at DylanJoyceYouTube@outlook.com. Had to get a 9RX on the phone. Hey, well, it's a far thing from a 9RX, but I have played around with the idea of like to have like an 8640 or 8650 old four-wheel drive tractor, sound guard. I ran an 8640 for the guy I used to work for a long time ago, and I should have bought that tractor because when he got rid of it, its sun gun was right. Had good tires on it. The engine had just been redone. I think it wanted like 20,000 for it, and I should have bought that sucker. But at the time, I wasn't working that well. At the time, I was just part time. I was helping him, had a little crop of my own, and I didn't even think that would be good to hook on the grain cart if it got wet in the fall, or if you really, which that 4650, if you can't air ground with it and the do all, you ain't got no business being out there. But you could hook that 8640 on that do all and then just play with it. How much rain did I get last night? Like an inch. Let me double check here. Let's see. 8 tenths. 8 tenths. Anywhere from 8 tenths to say the farm with the most I got was 9 tenths. Which y'all know how spread out we are. Cook a whole hog. Man, I cooked one Labor Day. We cooked a whole hog, and it turned out good, but Dig is it's hard to cook a whole hog the time I cooked it because your shoulders cook at different rate and your hams cook at different rate. It turned out good. The best part was was the belly meat where your bacon comes from. Now that was daggum good, but we had about I guess she was 75, 80 pound hog, and she wasn't growing off like I thought she would, and so we just took her and took her to the boys that do my processing, and they scalded her where the skin, scraped the hair where her skin would stay on, and we put her on the grill, and we done like old Hank said. We put some beer, got the pig in the ground, got the beer on ice, and all the rowdy friends come over that night. Uh, Crawfish. We're about to get out of the window for crawfish. I think. Let's see. Normally springtime's when you get your crawfish. Y'all like that? Y'all like that expensive eating? Y'all want? I thought we might have soybean burgers or something like that. Soybean burgers and hot dogs. Look at old Russ over here trying to steal my thunder. He's Says Russ is leaving the building. Got to pick up takeout. He's going live Saturday night at 8 p.m. Now, I like the idea of a catfish fry, but man, you get hot in the summertime frying that fish. Y'all people eat early. My wife said supper's ready. Do y'all really eat it? What time is it? 4:39 in the afternoon? That's crazy. I don't say we normally eat supper about 7, 8 o'clock at night, but All right, any more comments? We got, see, been on here 40 minutes. As long as y'all are talking, I'll stay on here about another 20 minutes or so. But, all right. I've run out of topics, guys. Y'all gonna have to help me. Didn't have lunch. Okay, well, I guess that's a legitimate excuse. I kind of done that yesterday. We ate about 4 o'clock. Daddy cooked it'd be whatever day Memorial Day was. Daddy cooked a Boston butt, so I didn't eat lunch where I'd be good and hungry. We had some barbecue. I got some pork steaks out for supper tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna cook them or wait till tomorrow night. But do I think Corn Dog would pursue farming? I don't know. It's too. I guess it's too early to tell. He's into dinosaurs right now. Maybe he'll get. I don't know if I want him to farm more. On one hand, I want him to farm and work with us, and on the other hand, gosh, it's stressful. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to do this. Dang, which thing's pretty good right now. Crop prices are up high, but I can't count the nights late and bad at night worrying because it hadn't rained or it rained too much, or how are we going to get this crop in? Are we going to get this crop in with it raining like this spring? It was raining every day, and every year getting a tizzy worrying about whether or not I'm going to get the crop in, and so on and so forth. Well, Gordon, it's better late than never. We're glad to have you in here with us. Do you do cover crops? And yes, I do some cover crops, but I am not as hardcore as Matt. And cover crops is a good thing, but I just hadn't figured out how they fit in to my operation. And the past couple of years, this is the first fall in a while that it has been dry enough that I actually got to put in a cover crop. And it done some good things. And I will tell you this, that cover crop was, although it didn't look like there was a lot out there, it was doing a lot more than I thought it was, because when I sprayed it and burned it down, the ditches, they didn't wash hardly any that winter, but when I sprayed it and killed it, for about 2 weeks between when I planted it and after I burned it down, the ditches kind of started back washing again. I think the cover crops are a real good thing. Like I said, I just hadn't figured out how they fit into my system yet. But we planted 80 to 100 acres of, let's see, we probably planted about 100 acres of cover crops last year. And I saw some benefits. I planted some, one fall, I planted some tillage radishes, or them daikon radishes, or whatever you want to call them. And man, them things, I really liked them. I thought they done a good job. But I had some Group 2.6 soybeans, and we cut them at the end of August. And I run the ripper over the field, and then I sowed them radishes. So I ripped that field because I thought we had a compaction issue. And we worked it down, smoothed it up, and I drilled crimson clover, a little bit of wheat, and those radishes. And man, those radishes come up and took off. They was just huge. I mean, them radishes, the tuber part on them was that long, and that's no joke. And they was probably that big around, and we made some really good corn on that field the next year. Fixing to load up some calves. If y'all are ever going through Corinth, stop and see us. Send me some homegrown beef back with you. Well, I got some homegrown beef of my own, but I ain't going to turn it down if you want to send some more home with me. Come to the Buckeye State for hogging with the Troy boys. Whole pig and a lot of. I'll have to remember that. I have to check that out. I don't know if they welcome people from the South in Ohio. They may run me out. Am I a first generation farmer? I don't really know how to answer that. All right, here's the story on me. My granddad farmed on both sides. You had the original Joyce brothers, which was my granddad Walton, my great uncle James, and my great uncle Bubba, and they had cattle, hogs, and row crop. Well, I think in the mid '80s, things got bad in the '80s, and they just decided it was time to split ways. So my granddad, he just retired from farming and got a little job at the working for the county, and he was the road grader, and then he kept his cattle herd, and then my uncle James, I think he just plumb retired, or no, he had a stroke, and was in he was after he had that stroke, he was disabled. He had to drive a wheelchair around, and then Uncle Bubba kept the hogs. Okay, so they kind of my granddaddy Walt, which Walton's named after, he kept the cow herd, and that's how we deal with the cattle and hogs and stuff. And then my granddaddy Sims, I called him. His name was Bob, and I was little, and I called him Bobo. But he had the row crop operation, and he had the two 4640s that we run now. And he never was a great big farmer. I think he worked 500-600 acres. But back in, you can make a living off of that, and that's what he worked. And my mom got a public job, and then my dad got a public job. But Daddy always kept cattle. Well, my granddaddy retired, and he rented the ground out to his nephew, and but he kept all his equipment, and I think he had intentions. I was 10, 11, and I think he had intentions of me and him farming together when I got ready. But because that's all I've ever wanted to do was farm. I ain't never dreamed of nothing else. But he passed away from cancer in 2000. So, the equipment just kind of sat down here in the shed. Not really locked up, but it just sat down there in the shed. And me and Daddy would use it to put up hay and stuff when I was a teenager and stuff. And then when I got out of high school, I decided, I'm going to try to farm. I'm going to do this. And I went to work for that other farmer. I worked for him and gained experience, and I worked for him for 7 years. I worked through college, and then I went to work for him full time. And it got to the point where I had picked up enough ground and was gaining ground, and so I just decided. I told him, I said, I'm gonna try to make it on my own. I think I've got enough that I can make a living now. And I used to do a lot of odd jobs back then to make extra money, make ends meet. Used to used to build food plot planters, 2-row food plot planters, and I had a daggum good. I had a good business doing that. I was, making good money back then, and then it got to the point where I was having to devote all our time to the farm, and so I just didn't. I kind of gave the food plot planter business up. That's really something I ought to start back if just build them when I got the time, because boy, you could put them things on Craigslist and they would just sell in a matter of minutes. And I would price them at them food plot planters at a decent price. And man, a lot of people put them on there and they ain't selling nothing but junk, and they want like $2,000 for them. I'd sell a good planter that had been gone through. They was ground drive Alice Chandler's units, and I would build them food plot planters, and I'd sell I think I was getting $1,200 for a 2-row, and was making daggum good money. Everybody on Craigslist probably hated me because I was undercutting them pretty bad, but I was making money. I guess I just daggum trying to stick it to people. When people ask me if I'm first generation, I guess that's a long way to say. I guess the row cropping skipped a generation. How does that sound? It'd be third, actually be fourth generation, because my great granddaddy farmed too, and so but it is the cattle fourth generation, row cropping it skipped a generation. How's that sound? Does that make sense? Hmm. Something to be proud of. Yeah, man. Some days I get down on myself, and then I'm on Facebook, and I don't agree with everything Facebook does, but I like to keep it around because I get to stay in touch with friends from high school and stuff, and get to see pictures of their kids, and it's just a way for me to stay in touch with some people. And I like, Facebook's got that memories thing, and sometimes I'll be getting down on myself and, thinking, well, we ought to be doing better. And then like a memory will pop up of so many years ago, and it would be like me running that 6620 combine with a 4-row header. And I'm like, well, maybe things ain't so bad. Sometimes you just got to stop and take a look at where you got to quit worrying about where you're going, and sometimes you need to take a look and see where you've been, how far you've come, and things don't look so bad then. But yeah, that's just I didn't mean to give that long, drawed out deal. But do I ever come down around Tupelo? No. See. No, I don't go down in Mississippi much. About the furthest I've been to the Tunica area and around Corinth, but that's about as far as I get down in. Excuse me. That's about as far as I get down in Mississippi. Uh, I go to Missouri, and well, I ain't really done a lot of traveling. I used to do lots of traveling. If we go look for equipment stuff, I bought this combine come out of Illinois, my sprayer come out of Illinois, my 4650 come out of Kentucky. Normally, if I look for equipment, I'm headed up north, so I don't get down in Mississippi much. We go instead of going down I-40 and going to Chattanooga when we go to Atlanta, we like to go through Alabama. We go down through Alabama that way, the Huntsville area, because even though it's further, when you pull it up on the directions, man, all it takes is you getting caught in one traffic jam on I-40, and it don't take long to make up that extra hour it takes to go from going through Alabama. Y'all have gotten quiet on me. I'm gonna stay on here about 5 more minutes if y'all got some questions and stuff for me. I'd probably done talked y'all's ear off. Probably done rambled enough. But I really thank all y'all for joining me today. What kind of sprayer would I want to replace the Patriot with? Really like to have a John Deere. I don't know why, but me and Robert's kind of settled on a John Deere 4720 if we did replace the Patriot, because they're cheaper. They're basically the same thing. From what I can tell, they're the same thing as a 4730, except the ladder's still on the side. And, you know, a 4710 is getting some age on it now. They're good sprayers. I've ran one a little bit, and they was good sprayers, but I think the 4720's got a lot more features and a little cheaper price than a 4730 from what I've seen, which may need to steer away from it because I don't think they made it for about 2 years, but surely to goodness it's got a lot of parts in common with the 4730. Do I ever go to the farm show in Louisville? Yes, I love the farm show in Louisville. I planned on going. See, all right, 2020 they had it. All right, 2019 we had intentions of going to the farm show, and Walt got sick, and he has some respiratory issues. The older he gets, the better he's getting. But when he was young, he had a lot of respiratory issues, especially in the wintertime. You know, whereas a cold, you know, will get us down a little bit. A cold will really get Walton. And we had plans of going to Louisville, and ended up he spent a week in the hospital, and I stayed there with him. You know, first couple of days, Michelle, my wife, stayed with him, and we was the first couple of years. I mean, yeah, she stayed with him, and I stayed there too, but or maybe that was 2020. Anyways, I missed that farm show because we was in the hospital with Walt, and then of course last year the freaking COVID. You know, they just barely met. Yeah, all right, it had to be in 2020 because we was in the hospital and we got out of the hospital, and they had the farm show right before, you know, the COVID took over. And then last year they canceled it because of the COVID. So that's a long way of saying I love the farm show, but I ain't got to go the last 2 years. Maybe I hope to go this year. Might have to sign me up a booth and sign autographs. I don't know. Look up Southern Farmer on YouTube. He's a farmer in the county next to mine. You should check him out. He's only about 20 minutes from him. I'll check it out. Good hearing from you. Tell Robert I had one of those days the other day. See my video. I saw where you got the 46. It's 4630, or maybe it's 4430. I saw where you got it stuck down pretty good. All right, see you, Stinson Farms, and thank you for joining us. If I get a chance, come to Raleigh. Man, North Carolina is a long. It don't look that far on the way on the map, but North Carolina is a long way from us. Which, you know, Tennessee is, if you've ever looked at a map, it's a long, narrow state. If these states, I can be in about 5 states in just a matter of minutes. But when you get to going in, but it's long. It takes longer for me to drive from Knoxville, Tennessee, to like Saxton, Missouri, which we're right on the border of Tennessee. We're like 30 minutes from the border of Tennessee. But all right, guys, I've been on here an hour. I probably should have waited till 5 o'clock. We're catch a lot of people off of work, but we'll do it again. I'm not like Russ. I don't really have a certain time I go live, but I just kind of do it when I get a chance, and I always seem to get a lot of people joining us again. Thank you for supporting our channel. Thank you for liking our videos. Just thank you for watching us, and thank you for joining this live. And come back again, and we'll do something different. You don't never know what we'll be doing.